So in this video, I'm going to show you an interview with Dr. Diane Lewis.
It's about meeting the child's demands, what it's asking for, and as the child feels secure, it can explore into the world.
It will be the first of many interviews I'm going to start posting on the channel to build some real depth and breadth into this project. So is that your archive?
It's all the photographs, yeah.
In fact, I've been pointing a camera at people and asking them questions over about the last 4 or 5 years. So I've got a whole wealth of different supporting background information, which I think it's time that you got to see as well.
It was sort of like, how do you like painting? Or something, you're like, how do I even...
I'm going to try to keep the footage here edited to an absolute minimum because I don't want to dilute anything that Diane says or the wealth of wisdom and experience that she brings to this conversation.
I'm Dr Diane Lewis, an educational psychologist.
Yeah.
I work with children, young people, families. I'm particularly interested in areas such as attachment and therapeutic approaches with children with trauma and intergenerational trauma. The educational psychology part is about looking at, the normal development of a child and the process of learning and how that's optimised. But of course the application is very often with children who struggle to learn and where those barriers are and how to remove those barriers so that they can reach their potential.
And just tell me a little bit about attachment psychology. Just explain what that is.
The psychology of attachment stems from a theory by John Bowlby, which is that the young has an innate need to be near to the parent for safety and for comfort and containment. That Bion also looked at this containment that the adult gives to the young. And attachment is that being in proximity to another and the bond that forms and how that's maximised for the safety of the young, to protect them, nurture them and to teach them.
So that could be between a parent and child, but it could be between a teacher and child as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The theories say that there are different ways to attach, and so the attachment style of the teacher can influence the attachment style of the children. It's usually the adult that dictates the style, so the children learn how to approach and form a bond with the teacher, and they develop those ways. And then we get into thinking about the theories of Vygotsky, in that what a child will learn with an adult one day, it will be able to do by itself another day. So this is the basis of a lot of the work that goes on in classrooms, where children are assigned somebody to help them and to create a strong bond. It certainly comes up when I'm working with children that they tell me that they can't draw.
Really?
They do. I often use a drawing task with them because drawing allows them to express their emotional side without words. And a lot of the children I've worked with don't have the ability to express themselves in words as well as possibly in a drawing, which will give me a lot of scope to work with. When I ask them if they will draw a picture for me, very frequently they say, I can't draw, which is an absolute concept and blatantly untrue, because we all draw, we can all do something. So somewhere they've internalized the negative about themselves.
Is there a particular age group where you notice a greater tendency to say, I can't draw?
As they get older. From about 9, 10, and certainly by the teenager. That's established, yes.
Because I've been learning about Victor Lowenfeld, who had these 5 stages of drawing, and he thought that drawing was not just a symptom of the development, but the development itself. So if you couldn't draw to a level that matched your perceptions, then you reach a point of crisis, and that normally happens around the age of 12, 13, when children want to draw realistically, because they perceive with a level of resolution that requires it. So that's I mean, it's really interesting you'd say that.
Well, I think it's a really exciting project.
Yeah.
It has so much potential, and particularly with drawing, where there's so much negativity in the child already, and absolute values of I can draw, I can't draw, you know, that it actually blurs that and moves you into a more creative area of thinking, not this black and white style of thinking, but into the creative, well, I can do this bit, and if I do that and then do, so it breaks it down. Very often the ways we teach children with special needs is to break a task down into smaller pieces.
Yeah.
And it absolutely does that for a child, but it also adds the benefit of it being at the child's own pace and also with an adult, so those attachment needs are met. But there's the task, so it's within the learning triangle as well.
Yeah.
So all these things come together.
What my experience has been that it's been really revelatory with children.
Oh, I can imagine, yes.
It makes the task comprehensible.
It's the length of time you have to hold it in your mind, and the distance from the object to your paper. All of these are shortened and made simpler.
Yeah.
And for somebody who's got a shorter memory span, many of the children I work with with special needs have shorter memories,
Yeah.
and have less ability to hold something for long. So the things that help children with special needs generally help the rest of the population marvellously, even more so.
Yeah.
Because it's the acid test, really, is if it will help somebody who doesn't have the skill. But I like it because it enhances my skill.
Well, that's really encouraging. And then what were your feelings about using the comparator mirror yourself?
I love the collaboration, this supported way to draw, to try something, and the open-endedness of the task.
Yeah.
Again, it's this closed mind of thinking I can't do something. Suddenly there's all sorts of possibilities, and I think that's the essence of drawing anyway. It's an open, creative task.
Did it feel like cheating?
No, not at all. No, I still had to bring my skill into it. If I think about the earliest work I do with a child might be to draw a cross on a piece of paper and see if a child can copy.
Yeah.
And so you're giving a very simple task, but it's the concept of still doing that, reproducing a mark, but more and more refined, at a refined level. So no, it didn't feel like copying at all. So I remember doing some eyelashes, and you see them and you think, now can I do that? Can I know what it is, what I can see, can I do that? And then finding that you can. and then maybe a little bit of it, not quite right. And then what can you do to rectify that? So all of that was very step by step, but then all the small parts build up and you step back and see what you've done. It's very rewarding.
So the thought that I'm ending up at is that the comparator mirror pulls drawing and painting into the zone of proximal development. And I can't think that that's ever been possible before.
It's really like having someone at your shoulder all the time helping you.
Yeah.
Because the mirror's helping, and it's giving you it in a more user-friendly fashion, and also it's not the blank sheet that you've got to do something and make or break whether you can draw. It's incremental, and you build on your progress.
Yeah.
And from what I understand of your project work as well, the feedback is very quick. And that again helps children who've got low confidence or have special needs to have these stages, and also to have quick feedback and have that reward. So that encourages again. It would be a real asset to children who are struggling with the concept of being able to draw.
Diane, thank you for talking to me.
Oh, it's been my pleasure, Tom. Thank you.
So I really hope that this video has been as insightful for you as it has been for me. I'm going to continue to work with Diane more and more closely over the next months, perhaps even years, to build a real case for the comparator mirror as a unique tool with which to set tasks that enable psychologists and teachers to build attachment, even with individuals for whom building trust is a very, very difficult process. If this has filled your head full of ideas, why not share them with me in the comments section below? And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and of course you can leave me a like. Until next time, good luck with your attempts to draw and paint. Thank you for your support and your enthusiasm, and I'll see you next time.